Okay. Is everyone know each other? I think I'm the new guy, so I want to introduce myself. Maybe it would be better if you briefly introduce yourself. My name is Aras. It's pronounced as Aras. Maha is here now. I am from Turkey. I am a PhD student, PhD candidate here at Anadolu University. Maybe you heard that before. We have a massive number of students, around 2 million in open and distance education. That's all for now.
I'll go next. I'm Autumn Keynes, and I work at Capital University in Columbus, Ohio, in the Center for Excellence in Learning and Teaching. I'm also a master's student in educational technology at The Ohio State University.
I guess I'll jump in. I'm Lisa Hubble. I am a college librarian in California, and so I have a master's in library and information science. And before this, I worked in the museum field for about 20 years, and I also have a master's in museum education.
Me? Yeah, of course. How do I do that?
Say something.
Oh, sorry. I'm Len from Guyana. I don't know quite what to say, but I guess I've been around, and I teach computer science. That's my day job. And almost every other time that is available, I'm around online, trying to do God knows what. I really don't know. But I'm happy to be here. You can ask me anything else later if you don't know, or if you want to. Is that enough, Sarah?
So I guess I'll go next. I'm Anne Gagne. I'm a instructor at Seneca College. The reason why I'm a picture and not a video is because I have bad lighting in my apartment. So I teach women's literature, and I'm also right now an instructional designer who assists with designing courses for online delivery through our special projects at Seneca.
Who's next?
Hi. I'm sorry, I'm rolling a joint. I'm so high. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I have a basic life. I'm just interested in sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And I'm a lawyer.
Lawyer?
Yeah. It's really weird, I know. But yes, I am. Is everything okay?
It's okay. Is there if there isn't anything else you will add?
Yeah.
Okay. I will start with some screen sharing, if I can, about social network analysis. Actually, I don't know where to start. I have some experiences, but You know, it was not for presentation, but I will try my best. Okay.
Okay.
My PhD will be about MOOCs and learner and teacher roles. And I thought, how can I define these roles, you know, in this massive learning environment? So I decided for the learning social network analysis. There is a misconception. Everybody thinks, you know, learning analytics and social network analysis is the same, but actually, you know, they are different things. Social network analysis is just a small part of the learning analytics. Anyway, and now 1 second. Yes. Now you see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. I know this is very classic, but you know, this is the best I can. Why do I like social network analysis? It's probably because of that. You know, we usually use Facebook or Twitter for communication, and there are Rhizos all around the world. You know, in a global, massive scale. How can you detect that? You know, the best way to visualize them social network analysis, because you could see all these nodes and ties in a single visual, and you can use different metrics to get measures. Another best way of social network analysis is it's like taking photograph, but you know, suppose that you get a photo, there is a luggage in your hand. In normal condition, you can just see the bags. However, you know, with social network analysis, it is able to see what's in the bag. That's why social network analysis leveling up the game. There are some, you know, I will talk about. I will use vertices, but nodes, agents, entities, or items, the terms with the same meaning. In our sample, vertices will be the learners, Twitter users. Edges, you know, there are different claims like links, ties, connections, and relationships. And in our sample, they will be tweets that we tweeted. These metrics are very important. One is degree centrality. It is simply, you know, the number of the clicks or tweets what you did. It's a kind of popularity measure, but I think for my part, it's not that important. Between the centrality is very important. It indicates how important in your network. It's also it demonstrates the guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you. I think everybody has just muted themselves so that way they can listen better.
Okay.
When they,
you know, I was just looking to the screen and I thought I was just speaking by myself. Anyway, between the centrality is important because, you know, we will see our example. There is a huge network, and actually some of the people don't like talking about that, but we all have some roles, you know. Some of us producing the knowledge, producing the content, some of them just lurking or consuming it, some of those facilitating or guiding, but there are actually roles, and between the centrality is a total of these measures. You know, in a graph, the size of the node also indicates their importance. If you take these nodes from these networks, you know, probably the interaction, the communication would go down. That's why it's very important. And sorry. Yeah. Closeness centrality, it's a matrix that I don't care actually. No, it's not that important. It's just indicates how can you reach another person in a shortest path. Eigenvector centrality. This is really interesting. Now we will see our sample and everybody has a size. These sizes are defined by betweenness centrality. However, eigenvector centrality is similar to Google's PageRank algorithm. It indicates your importance not just within the network, but your general importance. I mean, everybody has an influence, and you can detect these influences through eigenvector centrality. And one second. Can you see any picture on the screen, or I will do it again because there is a problem with the screen. I think now you see the visual, the complex visual. Am I right? Okay. Look at this visual. What do you see? You know, there are dots and lines, but what do they show us? Actually, this is the whole interaction and communication through last week. And as you can see, some mates are thicker than the other ones. And there is a interesting groups here, and there are sub-networks. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are other groups, but you know they are just small, and I guess they don't influence much the whole network. I think you know these small dots. They are the lurkers. I'm not if they are agent or not, but they are just lurking around. They don't have any interaction. And I want to show this graph through Excel. I prepared these files before, but you know, in sharing screen I can't see it. I have to reopen them. This is the same visual, but in a different form. I think this is not natural like the previous visual. However, it is easier to see the ties and nodes. For example, you see Balima, or let me zoom in, GMAG, Dave Cormier, I can see the rest. Anyway, today's topic was instructor's role. in connectivism, as you know, there is a very known fact: teacher is learner, learner is teacher, teacher is learner, blah blah. It's going in that way. When I look at that visual, I see that that is exactly true. Normally, in a normal condition, I would expect to see Dave Cormier in the very middle and all the ties, connect them. However, the situation is very different. As you can see, there are different groups. They are talking about different things. They are all talking about Rhizo15. However, the topic is not the same for everyone. Their connection and interaction is not the same. And what I see, learners took the control in this connectivist learning environment. I want to go with it's weird, I feel like I'm speaking myself. Okay, hope you enjoy it. I will now you see a visual and some numbers on your screen. I took these data last Tuesday. It took nearly 4 hours for me to calculate and to make this visual the final version, but it's really a long process. Anyway, I want to talk about NodeXL. It's actually easy to use. You can easily download and you can get the data. But the difficult part is to know all these metrics and to know to learn these fine tuning. If not, there isn't a meaningful result. You see vertices in our sample, people in Rhizo15. There are some values here. I've just talked about that between the centrality, closeness centrality, eigenvector. Oops. This graph is designed accordingly between the centrality. As you can see, numbers are, from top to down, from bigger to smaller numbers. Let's change that and see who is changing. You see the names here, and oh, it's in Turkish, sorry that.
It's okay, Aras. I need to brush up on my Turkish as well,
There is so much data, so it takes some time. Computer is not that bad, but it takes time.
I'm curious, Aras, is this software, do you have to purchase it? And I'm curious what kind of computer you're running it on.
Probably you all use Apple.
Yeah.
Yes, it's usually a big problem, and when you go outside of America, it's difficult to see people using Apple actually. In Europe, in general, we use Windows PCs with they work with any computer, and NodeXL usually working with Windows PCs. It's a big problem for other products as well. There is another software. It is Gephi, and we have the same problem with it. same software don't work sometimes with different platforms or operation systems. Okay, I clicked one more time. And sometimes the bad thing, I do all that data, and when there is so much data, it just, there is a blue screen and everything goes off. You have to start from the very beginning. Yes. You see, when I change the metric to close the centrality, people are changed. Probably I will get 1 second. Yes. Eigenvector centrality is your influence, your importance, not just in the network, but outside the network. It's like saying, in academia, sometimes a PhD says something, even if it is not true, people say, "Oh, that's great." But sometimes, as a student, you say something, but nobody cares. Eigenvector centrality is all about that. Wow, you see whose name on the first place? Can you see that? And GMAC, Doctrex, Dave Cormier, yes. And accidentally I am here. And I'm clicking fast, but each time I click your names, you can see red lines and yourself on the graph. For example, Nomad War Machine. It's a cool name. When I click that one, yes, you see, as a node, you are connected nearly to all community. That's really good. You are not instructor, am I right? Rhizo15, are you? Sarah? Yes. Uh, Actually, this is what we were discussing, what we are talking this week in Rhizo15, and this is a general discussion in connectivist learning environments. You are not an instructor, but you are in the middle of the everything. That's very important. Another note. Where is Dave Cormier? Yes, here. It didn't change. I'm waiting. What I see, Dave's influence is less than yours. That's quite interesting for traditional learning environments, not this kind of learning environments, but Dave's influence is less than yours. That's very interesting. And he is 6 in the list now. I mean, this kind of ranks are not very important, but it is good to see where you stand in the whole network. That's why social network analysis is providing good opportunities to see whole network. Okay, these were about nodes. What about the ads? Yes. One thing I really like with social network analysis is that, okay, there are different values, different metrics. You can see people, I mean, the importance of the people from different perspectives. However, it also make it possible to see the each communication. I mean, each edge, each line on this graph, the importance of them. When I open my data, I see who speak with whom, the type of the relationship, and date. You can see. You can see the other like links used, hashtags, etc. This is important. Edge weight. I will talk about that. Before that, where are you? Yes. Now, when I click, I can see each tweets. Who said what? Who spoke? Who talked about? Who was saying what? Anyway, and I will go in last week's network. There are a total of, yes, you see, these are all the tweet conversation. It's easier to take them. However, the good thing is that weight. You see, the largest number is 60 and the smallest number is 1. They are like formula. I don't know what are the main idea within these algorithms, but you are calculating them, the relationship, and it's probably the retweet size, engagement, sharing in outside of the network. There are different metrics, and each tweet have a value. And in this graph, the thicker ones are defined according to these values. Oops. Now you see Topsy, am I right? So far, nearly 7,000 tweets were tweeted in Rhizo15, and especially last 2 weeks were quite active, but this week the engagement is getting less. In a normal condition or in an academic article, probably these interactions would be presented in a two-dimension graph like that. You see, there is just peaks and numbers. You cannot interpret this kind of visuals that much. However, when we analyze all these interactions, something like social network analysis, you can add different dimensions. You can see people and conversation in the same graph with values. That's why I really like them. I hope I didn't miss anything, but if there is any question, I can take them.
Aras, that was so interesting. I like to see that the amount of effort and the amount of work that you've put into it. I swear to God, that is such dedication. So thank you so much for doing that. It really did clarify a lot of things for me because I love those graphs, but I wanted to see like where they came from. But the sheer amount of data you have is incredible, actually.
Thank you. Every Tuesday is social network analysis day because before we start to a new week, I take the data from our community and spend a night here. Before I sleep, I go to bed, I upload, and you see it. That's the whole story. It doesn't matter. If you have Windows, you can use it. Actually, here I just, it's like instant coffee, I just presented you a preset data. However, after Rhizo or I don't know when, we can make a demo, we can take the data and calculate using these metrics. It's more interesting and you can use a small data set because then when you click, you don't wait sometimes for 15 minutes. Do you use a Windows 8? No, it's my previous computer was Windows 8. Now I think my version is Windows 8.1 and it's working fine. But this software is sometimes making so much noise. I bought this computer a month ago. I couldn't set up Gephi. I have to change some settings in Java settings, then it works. Sometimes there is something small, but you can see at the very beginning.
Aras, I think that Len has a really good question in the chat box. I don't know if you have the chat box open, but I'll just read it. It says, I might have missed, how do you get the data off of Twitter? And
sorry, I was just speaking, I missed it. Yeah.
I just wanted to draw your attention to it because I think it's a really good question. I'm interested in that as well.
So I can get the question. What did you say? I can take it again?
Yeah. Can you answer the question? How do you get the data off of Twitter, and can you get it off of Facebook?
In this NodeXL version, you could not get data from Facebook, but in previous versions it was possible. Actually, I tried to get the Facebook data using another software, but interestingly, they have a problem and you can get it, but I will try in coming weeks. One software doesn't work for all. You have to use different options, and sometimes one day they are working, one day they are not, because this is just not a one-party process. You use a software in your computer, you authorize your accounts, you get the data from other servers. I mean, everything should be fine to get all this data. And again, you asked two questions, but I forgot. Sorry.
I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How do you get the data off Twitter?
Oh, it's really easy. Even without signing it, you can get the data. But when you once set up NodeXL into your computer, 1 second. Let me show you. Do you see Excel window now? Can you see it? Guys?
Just a black screen.
No, 1 second. It's actually open, but can you see it now? No? Yes. I think you see it now, yeah? Okay. You see there is a small menu here, import. These are the cross-platform support between other social network analysis softwares. I mean, you can download your data and get, but the good fine part is here. I think you want to learn. You can get Flickr-related text network, Flickr users network, and Twitter search network, Twitter users network. I use Twitter search network for these analysis, and the same with YouTube. In previous versions, there were also Facebook data, but it's not available now. 1 second, yes. This is a hashtag. I know there is a small size of data. Look, I wrote my hashtag, and there is one thing. You can just get 18,000 tweets in one time, and it's usually take the data from last or 8 days. Okay. Actually, we are doing a demo now. I hope I can get the data easily. Now it's getting page 6. You see that part? For Rhizo sample, sometimes I wait 15 or 20 minutes. It changes. Yes, I get them. You see, it is that easy. It's not, there is no magic. It's not difficult. You just know what to do. Yeah. Look, this is a raw data. There is nothing, and you have to run some metrics. It's always better to start with graph metrics. I will click, I don't know if it makes faster, but then there are some options with automate section. Then you should go with autofill columns. This is very important. I mean, this is the place where you define everything, but it takes time, as you see. I mean, if you can able to set up NodeXL into your computer, to get the data is not difficult, but the difficult part is to visualize these raw data into something meaningful. It's like, being a sculpture. You take the mud, it's nothing, but if you give shape, then there is something you can watch. By the way, I can't follow the chat box on the right side. I focus on the data. Probably I will check it, when we finish everything.
Well, I think it's just fascinating. It's really great to be able to see you present on it, and like we see these really beautiful graphs that you're putting out. And I hear you talk about things like betweenness and centrality and all these things, but I didn't really understand it before. So thank you for that.
Actually, when I first started with social network analysis, it wasn't meaningful for me either. The terms are weird, and the bad thing, there isn't a unity between the terms. You read a book, they are using another term in another book or source. It's at the beginning, it's very confusing. It took nearly a year for me to sync all these terms and to understand what they want to give me. But at the end, you reach the nirvana and you feel quite happy.
Yeah, I'm still struggling with it a little bit. So, betweenness is like how many different nodes you connect to. Is that correct? Different clusters. I'm sorry. How many different?
Betweenness is like, it's really difficult to explain. Actually, it is. You understand when you examine the nodes in the graph. One second, I have to do something else here. How can I explain betweenness? In the graph, you are connected to people. But it's not the number of the connected people, but the shortest paths to the connected people. The sum of them gives your betweenness centrality. Think there is a famous example. 9/11 events. You probably know. It's a weird question. One of the guy made a research, and there were some guys, terrorist guys in US, but they just get the names. Okay, there is a list, but who is their leader? I mean, whose betweenness centrality is the highest? Anyway, I will share it privately in our network because it would be weird to share something like that in the Rhizo15 group. They track their conversations, chat logs, SMS logs, etc. Anyway, they found some guy. He was not on the list, but he was their leader. Betweenness centrality gives this kind of values. You are not visible, but you are an important node in the whole network. It's not about how many tweets you tweeted or how many people connected to you, but it is where you stand. You stand in a critical point. If I take you from that point, the connection, the flow will be less or disappear. That's why it's important. I hope I explained.
It's helpful. I think you're right. I think it might take me a little more time, and I need to maybe spend more time with the data and looking at the different graphs. But I'm starting to get my head around it.
But the problem is, I follow the people's comments. People always think that social network analysis is number of the people connected to you and number of the tweets you tweeted. It's more than that, actually. It's a total of different values. Once I wrote, I don't remember, but it's not that primitive. Just clicking and you are a big node. It doesn't work in that way.
So what are some of those other values?
Wow, it's a good question. Probably I cannot explain now with my poor English.
Oh.
Actually, in my part, social network analysis is that, sometimes you know it, you see it, but it's difficult to explain. You have to engage with the data a lot, then but difficult to explain. But I will answer that question in next episode.
All right. Or maybe in a blog post in the future or something.
Okay.
All right, good enough.
Aras, I have a feeling that, like as you were saying, it's not just like who you're connected to or the number of tweets you have, but also the number of tweets and the people who you are connected to that they are connected to, basically. It's kind of like dominoes in that way. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For example, in our data set, you saw Sarah is in eigenvector centrality, I guess. At the top, in normal conditions, Dave Cormier or instructor or someone else should be there. Through social network analysis, one second, what we do with it. Yes.
I noticed in
Yes,
the
you
first
see.
week that Dave told us to reach out to people who weren't connected to anybody, and that some people actively did that.
You see that flow, when you look, there are just name of the people and some tweets, some likes, retweets, mentions. Social network analysis first put these data into one graph, and then not only putting them into one graph, but adding some values, some metrics, and it doesn't do that all automatically, but you decide according to your need, then you get the data.
Yeah, so that makes sense. It's kind of like all like sort of individualized parameter driven type thing,
Yes.
right? It's not. Yeah, no, that's really great.
And I would imagine the times when a bunch of people are going to a conference that's outside of Rhizo15 but related, that pulls things in that direction and gets those people closer.
Yeah. Actually, I always get the data from Twitter, but you can use social network analysis for everything. For example, we talk about knowledge bits. These nodes can be knowledge sources, and you can analyze learners' interaction with these knowledge sources all around the world. But it's difficult to get that size of data with a simple computer. People are doing that, but people are doing that usually for commercial purposes.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby.
Hello. Yes, I can't hear him. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, and I don't think that's
Yes.
I don't think that's a real person. I feel like that's a video that I've seen before. It's a funny like meme video of two people who like didn't realize that their video camera was on. So it's strange that it's coming through as like a person, like a real person. I think that's just an old video go, oh, and look, they took it away as soon as I called it out.
Yes, in 4 hours I have to wake up and go to work.
Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah, why not?
Thanks, Aras. That was really, really interesting.
You're welcome. I thank you for your participation. Actually, no, first I thought we will talk about maybe a bit about social network analysis and about Rhizo15, but then I realized I was expected to talk about all that stuff.
You know, it could be great to get each of the people who's doing some kind of research on Rhizo to do one of these, because there are a few of you out there.
Yeah, I thought about that too, Lisa. I think that would be really interesting if we got all of you guys into a chat together, and we could, yeah, kind of have each one of you give us your take. I think that'd be really cool.
Actually, one of my I'm planning to make a research about rhizomatic learning because the data I have now can provide knowledge about two things. First, rhizomatic learning, because actually, we are rhizomes on this environment, and also connectivist learning. That's why I don't know how to separate these concepts, but I feel they are not much different. One is just a larger circle, one is a smaller circle in it, but there would be a good research. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks very much. This was useful.
You're welcome. Okay. Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Okay. See you. Good night. Sweet dreams. Maybe is there anybody I can say good morning?
No, it's 6.
No.
It's 6:30.
Okay.
It's 6:30 p.m. here. I'm early.
All right. Okay. Anyway, sweet dreams, everyone. Good night.
Goodbye.
Dreams.